All right, story time. I'm just reading the comments on my latest video talking about my advice for kids and to, be careful with your money. Enjoy it now while you're a kid, but, eventually make sure you keep your hobbies in check and don't get into trouble spending all your money on your hobbies. So I was reading a comment and someone briefly wrote, let's see if I can read exactly what it is, this way I don't goof it up. Um, It was by JSMC84. Just bought a gun right before I was supposed to go to the groceries. I beep up. Messed up. So, yeah, it kind of sparked a memory of mine. So I figured it'd be a good time, a good opportunity to tell a story. People happen to like the story time stuff. I can literally do 1,000 videos like this easily and tell stories. And although it's fun, um, in moderation. But anyway, I do another story to tell. And it's going to be a prime example of being young and dumb and thinking I was smarter than everyone else and I was going to get away with something, and I didn't. And it's a funny story. So here's the story, okay? First, we have to get the setting right here. I am in fifth grade at the time, okay? And in fifth grade, I was very much into hockey. Loved hockey. Big Rangers fan. Just if you don't like them, that's fine. I haven't watched hockey in years, so I can really care less if you like them or not. I even had a couple signed pucks by some Rangers. Anyway, I was able to watch a couple games, and just I was very much into hockey. And me and my friends used to play, hockey in the driveway and stuff. And I would say more or less beating the crap out of each other and checking each other into the dirt hill than actually playing hockey. But anyway, it was fun. That was our stuff, right? And I remember in fifth grade, I had the word Rangers shaved into the back of my head, and I thought I was the coolest kid in the world. And me and my friends all did that together. We're kind of like a little group, a little cult, if you will. But as that kind of faded out and my hair grew in, it was time for a new haircut. Okay, and I'll never forget this. I was with my friend Chris Earl, and I lived in West Milford, New Jersey. This is true. I'm not making this up. This is exactly what I did. I lived on Overlook Road, and about a mile and a half from my house, we were in a little lake property. Okay, Pine Cliff Lake is where it was, and there's basically this massive lake, and people lived all around the lake, and all the roads kind of ran parallel, kind of like a mini San Francisco. And it was hilly, but not as extreme. And we'd all ride our bikes around town. It was not a big deal. It wasn't very congested. Over the years, more and more people came in. There was more traffic and stuff like that. But early on, when I was in fifth grade, it was no big deal to ride your bicycle down to ShopRite. Now, ShopRite was our food store, and it was a whole strip mall. There's lots of stuff in there. There was a movie theater. There was, a dollar store. There was a liquor store, haircutting place. On the very end of the strip mall, there was a barber called Jimmy the Barber's, and his Jimmy's son Nigel, he was one of my other friends. Total goofball, really fun kid to hang around with, though. Always doing stupid, crazy stuff. But anyway, this was the town's barber. Okay, Jimmy the Barber, who happened to be bald, by the way. Okay, but an awesome guy, and he did a great haircut. But he was the place to go if you're a guy. That's just what you did, whether you were 10 years old, or 80 years old. You went to the barber. You didn't go to the hair salon to get your hair cut. You're a guy. You go to the barber. So I was given $10, exactly $10, by my mother to go get a haircut at Jimmy the Barber's. All right. My hair's growing in. It's getting long, looking ratty. Hey, get a haircut. Here's $10. Okay. Now, when I was in fifth grade, it cost $7 for a man's haircut. At least that's the style that I had. So it was $7 for the haircut and $3 for a tip. Now, next door to Jimmy the Barber, there was two other shops. One was a comic book store, which an old stoner hippie, redhead guy, he had red-haired afro, hilarious, and a big fat a cat that looked just like Garfield. Okay, he used to sit on top of the stack of comic books, and no one ever went into the store. Occasionally, my friends would go in there because the guy was kind of cool to talk to. Totally just out there, wasted all the time, and just the comics were dusty. I don't even know how he stayed in business. No one ever bought anything there. But sandwiched in between the barbershop and the comic book store, was an arcade. Now, this arcade only lasted about a year And then eventually the owner got busted for being a drug dealer and selling coke out of the store and stuff like that. But it was very, very popular when it was there. Extremely expensive. You'd only go there and your money would last, even if you went there with like $30, it would last about 20 minutes, not even. It'd be like $1.50 a game or something ridiculous. It was, but it was the place to hang out. So I got this $10 in my pocket. This is after school. My parents aren't home. They're at work still. I get off the bus. I walk up the hill. I told you the bus stop story. I walk up that big hill. I get home. I got my $10. By the way, this was left for me and a note on the table. Okay, so I walk in the door, throw my backpack on the chair like normal, and then here's this note: get a haircut. Here's $10. Okay, so I'm like, all right, $10. And I think, all right, I'm gonna go get my haircut. And then I thought, no, I know what I'm gonna do. I had this like epiphany. This little light bulb went off above my head, and it was a twitching light. It wasn't a very smart idea, but I thought I was smart. Fifth grader. I knew it all. I still know it all. That's the kind of mentality that I had most of my life. And I know I don't know it all now, but occasionally you get caught up in stuff and you get stubborn. And you're like, I'm right. There's no way. Look, sometimes we're all wrong. That's life, right? But anyway, I had this idea, and I thought, you know what? I got an awesome idea. I called my friend Chris, and I said, Chris, tell you what, you cut my hair, and I'll blow the $10 to the arcade. I'll split it with you. And Chris thought this was an excellent idea. Yeah, sure. I mean, what's he have to lose? He gives me a haircut real quick, and he has $5 for the arcade. So, and by the way, most of the time when I went to the arcade, there was a candy machine that had it was like one of the crane things, which is such a ripoff. The thing never closed all the way. You can never win anything. It was ridiculous. But it was like half candy and half like cheap watches and necklaces and crap. And we always wanted to play that instead of actually playing the game, because that thing you got to play. You got like 30 turns or something, 30 tries, for $1. So it lasted forever. It's the only way you can actually stay there for more than 5 minutes without going broke. But anyway, so I called Chris up, and Chris, he lived a couple miles from the house, so it took him about 20 minutes to get here with his bicycle. He shows up. I'm like, all right, man, listen, you got to do a really good job cutting my hair. Okay, now, by the way, I had a skater haircut, and I wish I don't have a picture in front of me. I'll maybe do like a throwback video where I show you old pictures of me as a kid and stuff. I got one picture where I'm naked in front of the bathtub, which I might have to bleep out a little. Give big old black bar, just so you don't see the goodies. Yeah, you notice how I said big old black bar? Yeah, that's a joke. So anyway, totally sidewinded here now. So Chris is over my house, and I give him the pair of scissors, and I said, listen, Chris, you got to do a good job, okay? If you screw it up, everyone's going to know that I didn't go to the barber. We're going to be in trouble, the whole deal, right? Oh, I got this, man. I got this. All right, fine. I give him the scissors. Now, mind you, if you don't know what the skater cut or bowl cut is, what it's referred to as, I thought it was cooler than the bowl cut. All right, but if you watch the Three Stooges, you're going to call it a bowl cut. A bowl cut, not a bow cut. Don't know why I can't say that. But the simple version is you put a bowl on your head and you cut around, and there you go. But the skater version of the cut was basically you parted your hair down the middle, and I had long hair most of my life. All right. And then you parted the hair all the way down, all the way around like a mushroom. And that's how you cut it. You cut it above the ear, all the way around in a straight line. And your head kind of looked like a mushroom, but it was cool. But anyway, then you would lift up all the hair and you'd shave underneath completely. That's what made it a skater cut as opposed to the bowl cut. And it was cool. It sounds lame now, but it was the haircut to have back then. Either you had that or you had, a shaved head. No one had anything else. It was one or the other. There was no Justin Bieber hair or, this kind of crap you're moving out of your face all day long. It was nothing like that. It was just parted, and, I did this a lot in my life. This motion right here, which was me straightening out the front so it kind of stayed by my ears and not my eyes. But it wasn't like a cool, I don't know what one does now. I feel like an old man already. I just don't understand certain styles, but that's not for this video. So it was this, not... Anyway, give Chris the scissors. All right, he's cutting my hair. Now I'm starting to get nervous because I could see this look in his face, and he's just so focused. He's biting his tongue. He's cutting my hair, and he's like really focused on it. I'm thinking, Jesus. And then as he's cutting my hair, I'm thinking of all the stupid things that he's ever done, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is not a good idea. He finally gets through it. I look in the mirror. I think, ugh, I don't know, man. It doesn't look that great. And then I'm thinking, no, no. And I talk myself into it. I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. It's fine. All right. Totally forgot about it. Went to the arcade. By the way, threw a hat on. I wore a hat most of the time when I was younger. Um, and threw my hat on. Went to the arcade. Had a ball. Me and Chris just had an awesome time. We won a bunch of free games. We actually played like the race car game that's like $2.50, which is like a huge deal. But we beat the one lap you have to get the free game, and we kept winning and winning. And awesome, awesome day. Best day of that month, I could say. And I get home. All right, when I get home, I'm still wearing my hat, mind you. So my mom and dad, they don't really see my hair. And my mom was like, "Oh, did you get your hair cut?" And I said, "Yeah." And she's busy cooking, getting ready, I'm about to serve my dad dinner and stuff. And for the most part, when I was younger, we didn't really have dinner together. That was like once a week, like a Friday or a Saturday, we'd have like a big meal together. Most of my childhood growing up, it was kind of like dinner was ready, grab it, eat it wherever you want, kind of a thing. That's just how we did it. Doesn't mean it's good, doesn't mean it's bad, it's just what we did. So she didn't really see me. I scrambled off to my room, did my thing for the night, and she never actually looked at my haircut. Now you think most mothers would want to see the results and all that, but it was a trust thing. It's like, okay, got your haircut, yeah, that's fine, we're good. The next day, I go to school, and forget about everything. I'm not thinking about my hair anymore. It's like it's over with. It's fine. I got away with it. Had a good time. Everything's fine. Not thinking about it at all. I go through my regular course throughout the day, and I'm getting some looks from kids, but I'm in fifth grade. No one really cares about your hair. No one's making fun of me, but no one's saying, oh, awesome haircut, man. It's just kind of neutral. So I'm not really thinking about it much. And I'll never forget when I got home. Let me stop the story for a second and tell you about my librarian in elementary school, which, by the way, was Westbrook Elementary in West Milford, New Jersey. And the librarian there, Mrs. Morley was her name. Sweetest lady in the world, very heavy-set woman, had no eyesight at all. Now, this is something you read in like a comic book, okay, or a fictional story. This is something you see in a funny movie. The librarian who can't see anything. But I swear to you, this is real. This is genuine. Ask anyone who's ever gone to Westbrook Elementary in West Milford, New Jersey in the last 20 years, okay? Mrs. Morley, very sweet lady, but she had glasses that were out to here. I mean, total Coke bottle glasses, okay? And on top of that, that wasn't enough. She also had this like half sphere thing. It was this giant, the only way I can explain it is like imagine a softball made out of glass and cut in half, like as a magnifying glass. That's the thing, and I'm not kidding you. She'd carry this everywhere, and like if she's reading to the class, or because we had like library time, in elementary school, and you'd have certain days you go to the library and you could pick books out, whatever, and she does readings for people, and she'd be using this thing. I kid you not. There was a kid who his name was Jimmy Nonis, one of my other friends, and we kind of looked alike, but not like twins or anything. We're just similar in like being chubby kids and maybe having the same hairstyle. She looked me right in the face and called me Jimmy. And not because she forgot my name, because she thought I was Jimmy. I mean, like this. The woman was blind as a bat. And it's funny because she's a librarian. And this is back in like the Dewey Decimal System and all that kind of crapola. So, old school. Yeah. So, anyway, the reason I'm telling you about her is because she, very sweet old lady, called my home and talked to my mother. No, excuse me. Called my mother at work. That's what happened. This is why my mother was extra angry. Called her at work to ask her if we needed to go on to the reduced lunch plan. Okay, which was, if your family doesn't make a lot of money, you end up getting like a cheaper rate for school lunch, as like a break. Now, my mother was furious at this. My dad didn't really care. In fact, he laughed when he heard about it. But my mother was extremely embarrassed. Now, the whole concept here is that she sees that I have this really crappy homemade haircut, okay, and thinks to herself, oh, maybe the family's struggling really bad, you know, and and so she called, and she was doing this in the kindness of her own heart, you know, but my mother was extremely embarrassed by it and just totally taken back by this whole experience. And man, I got yelled at when I got home. And looking back at it and talking about this story, the haircut was a lot worse than I thought it was. Now, of course, when I'm looking at it, I'm trying to convince myself, yeah, this is fine. I'll get away with this. But it's literally, Chris took like my bangs, okay? And boys aren't supposed to have bangs per se, and literally just cut them across in a straight line. I look like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. I'm not kidding. It was like identical to that. And I know I don't have a picture of when I had this homemade haircut. And I really, really wish I did. And of course, this is where I would insert the video, but I don't have one, so I'm sorry. Just use your imagination. But it is the closest thing I can think of. It is Dumb and Dumber. Okay, Jim Carrey's role in Dumb and Dumber. But I'll never forget that. It was hilarious. That was me thinking I was smart and being a total dummy, and having one of my dummy friends help me out, and totally getting caught. And it's really funny. But I thought I'd share that story with you guys. So it's another addition to Story Time with Jeff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story. And hey, if you live in West Milford, New Jersey, post a comment. Or close to West Milford, like Vernon, you know, Sparta, something like that. You let me know. By the way, Spartans, I hate you. You're always our rival football team. And I'll never forget, this is a whole different story, a whole different ball of wax, but I remember, you know, when the prom was going on, we had the rival punky kids would go back and forth to school because I'll give you a mini, no. Maybe I'll save it. No, I'll give you a short version of it, that's all. I was very much into all the art stuff, okay, and for one of our art projects, we painted this massive mural on this wall across the street from our schools and on the side of the main road. And the Spartan football team came over and spray painted over my friggin' drawing, which was awesome, by the way. We had to do silhouettes of ourselves in like a position. And of course, you knowing me, right? I had to do, my silhouette was like this, and I had a big knife, like a stabbing motion, totally unrelated and unnecessary. I always like to push the envelope. Everyone had fun, like yippee, and you know, hey, fun silhouettes. And I had to do like the, you know, axe murderer type thing. But anyway, teacher let me get away with it. That's the best part of art classes. I'm just expressing myself artistically. But those friggin' Spartan football team jocks came over, all right, and spray painted my picture. So me and my friends got in our cars and we went over during their prom. And not that I'm proud of it, because I'm not, but we threw bags of crap up against the wall of the glass windows during their prom. Yeah. So I like to think I got back to them. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed the story time here. Of course, I can always do story time videos. They're fun to kind of listen to and watch. It's totally different. The best part of this is that it's not a review and it's not something you have to go spend money on, something you want. So that's what's fun about telling a story. A lot of times you watch a cool review and then you want that thing and then you have to spend money on it. This results in a very free, satisfying, entertaining experience. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy, guys.